Good afternoon. Phil Lindemann with your Krystal 93 News from Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery. Wacky May weather is rolling in. The National Weather Service calls for snow tonight through tomorrow night. Deepest totals will be up high on mountain passes. Be ready for tricky driving. This morning, just after 9:30, incoming flights to DIA were diverted for low visibility. Now, DIA and most of the Front Range are under tornado watch. Last night, hail the size of baseballs bombarded Erie on the Front Range. Krystal 93 wants to remind you, we're still kicking over here. Roger Ogden, station owner, on the Krystal Morning Show today.
It was 35 years ago today that we signed on the air and have been on continuously under one ownership for that entire 35 years.
Do you remember what time of the day you signed on?
Yeah, it was in the morning. I think we did a morning show. You weren't around quite yet.
No, I wasn't.
But you were close.
We celebrate our birthday all this month with a big thanks to our listeners, DJs, and the businesses that support us. A possible roundabout on US 6 in Dillon is stifling plans for local housing on Forest Service land by the water tower.
There's a need to get this project done. This is really beneficial for the community. It's just, can we get through the impasse associated with the traffic solution?
That was Adam Bianchi, district ranger here in Dillon. Complicating matters is the timeline for a land lease.
We're looking for a time frame in August for that. That's been our timeline sort of all along.
Summit Commissioner Tamara Pogue responds.
100% with the Forest Service to meet the deadlines, and hopefully we can work out this last piece of the puzzle.
Lots of people need to agree. The county, the Forest Service, Town of Dillon, CDOT, Denver Water, and the developer. A new homeowner in Breck wants to convert his historic garage to an accessory dwelling unit for employees. But town code prevents it.
For existing structures that have been there for over 100 years, can you please allow them to be fully utilized for ADUs so that I can make 2 or 3 people very happy moving to Breck and crucially not needing cars?
The town promised to work with him. This week on the State of Summit.
We are still screwing with the economic vitality of Main Street if we choose to go down this path.
That was Frisco Councilman Andy Held from last night, debating the pedestrian promenade with Mayor Hunter Mortensen.
All COVID reasons we started down this path, those are behind us now. What do we want to do for our residents and for our businesses?
The promenade debuted in 2020 to help businesses that were limited by social distancing for COVID. A survey from this spring shows residents want it back, but businesses are split. Held again.
If we do nothing and don't close the street, nobody hurts. Nobody hurts.
Agreeing with Held was Councilwoman Elizabeth Skurzpick-Adrian, owner of Rocky Mountain Coffee Roasters there on Main.
The promenade for me is a big question mark. Is it going to wreck my business? Is it going to help my business? I'm not willing to take that chance at this point in my life with my kids.
Councilwoman Jessie Burley gave a counterpoint.
I think it's an unfair characterization that this is going to be the ruin of Main Street.
Held shot that down with the phrase that ended up swaying most of council.
If we don't do that, nobody gets hurt.
The promenade will not return this summer by split decision. Tune in again next week for the State of Summit on Krystal 93. In sports, the Rockies beat the Pirates today, 4-3. And in local sports, next Wednesday is the opening race of the Summit Trail Running Series in Dillon, the Scrapyard Scramble. Get signed up for the 5K or 8K at racebreck.com. Phil Lindemann with your Krystal 93 News from Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery.